Listen to your favorite shows live and on demand 24/7. Download the 77 WABC mobile app now. Greg Kelly on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The whole world seems to be on edge about Kamala, war overseas, and well, let's bring in an expert, the expert, Stephen Moore, very close to President Trump, the economist who advises Trump constantly on economic issues. You can also hear him right here on WABC. More Money, Saturdays 1 to 3. Great show. Stephen Moore, how you doing?
So good to be with you and appreciate the opportunity to come on my favorite radio station, WABC. So, look, I think Trump was onto something. We put this in our hotline this morning that it's the Kamala crash. And it's not entirely, but I do think, if you look at what's happened the last week or two, it's pretty clear that, Kamala has made she's erased a 10-point deficit. Now it's basically a tied race. And I think people on Wall Street and businesses are just freaking out over that. I mean, Kamala is a disaster when it comes to our economy, in terms of she wants to raise taxes, she wants to double the capital gains tax, she wants to tax unrealized gains, she wants to regulate everything from the internet to financial services to what kind of car you can buy. I think she's a total economic disaster, and I think that's one of the reasons Wall Street is freaking out.
And the whole world is watching this. This fall, I think I heard somewhere it's actually started in Japan. Japan was watching everything, and they started selling or buying or whatever they do. It took a deep. Is that how it started?
Well, I think it started with the jobs report that came out on Friday, which was a total disaster, and that showed that the economy is really slowing down, and Wall Street panicked. And then this weekend, my God, Japan just crashed. I mean, the Nikkei index is down more than it's been in 20 years. So this is spreading like a virus because, the U.S. economy is obviously the financial leader of the world. And when we sneeze, the rest of the country catches pneumonia. I mean, the rest of the world catches pneumonia. The other thing that's going on here, I think, is, we've got this national debt that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I said on your show and so many others on WABC and on Fox News that, there's going to be a financial crisis if we don't fix this, if we don't stop spending money we don't have. And I always said, I don't know if it's going to happen in 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years, but it's going to happen. And again, I don't want to panic people right now because I've lived through a lot of, times when we have corrections on the stock market, and sometimes the market bounces back. So some may look at this as a buying opportunity, for some of these technology stocks that are so down. And I can't advise you on that. I don't know if this is just a blip or whether this is the beginning of a serious sell-off.
Wow. Well, what does it mean for Donald Trump's chances? I mean, it's interesting. The race tightens and the market goes down. She shows, so this is a reaction to that. But what do you think it does for Donald Trump and right now politically?
Well, look, I never root against the American economy or the stock market, and I'm in the stock market. I don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose money. Nobody listening to the show wants to lose money. So I'd love to see a recovery as quickly as possible. But, the fact is this economy is fundamentally unsturdy right now. Don't you agree? I mean, we're running $2 trillion deficits. We don't have we're regulating everything that moves under Biden-Harris. Kamala Harris just gave a presentation the other day saying, I agree with everything Biden's done on the economy. Well, that hasn't worked out so well for the American people.
Yeah. But remember, she said at a rally, hey, you got something to say it to my face. I mean, she thinks that these cute little slogans and moments can get her through this thing. And given that the fake news is fake and stupid and corrupt, she just might. I'm a little bit worried, Steve.
I know. I've never, I'm with you on this. I've been in this business for 40 years. I got started in 1984, doing financial markets and politics. And I've never seen anything like this. This love affair or the media, they're treating her as if she's, Mother Teresa. I mean, have you ever seen anything like it? You've been in the Reporter a long time. I mean, the media is not unbiased here. They've fallen in love with this woman. And I don't know. I find her cackling kind of creepy. I don't know about you.
Oh, she's very unlikable. And I think something happened, though, fundamentally. Two things. 2003, the New York Times basically gave justification for the Iraq war by reporting erroneously that there were weapons of mass destruction. They feel guilt over that. They went liberal after that. And then 2016 was really like, okay, and not just for the New York Times, but for everybody, we will never report substantively negative information about a Democrat unless we absolutely have to, like if it's Menendez and he's been, convicted.
That they had to finally admit, because they look, the New York Times and all the rest of the national media lied to us for 4 years about Joe Biden's mental condition. They knew throughout this year that Joe Biden was not, and I'm not saying this to disparage the man. I mean, we all get older and our mind deteriorates. I don't have the energy that I did, or even the mental acuity I did 25 years ago. Although Trump is a sort of an exception to that. I mean, Trump seems ageless. But my point is, they lied to us. You know that. They told us, oh, this guy can run for president. And they didn't dump it. They didn't trash him until they realized, oh, he can't win. Now we got to find somebody else. I mean, that is duplicitous.
It really is, and there's been no kind of like accounting for it. I mean, okay, they lied, they got caught, they swapped out the running mates, or they swapped out the nominee, and it's like business as usual. Nobody even talks about the coup except Donald Trump, and it was a coup.
I do. I mean, I do all the time because I think it's so unjust. These are the people who say we're the danger of democracy. What the hell are they talking about? These are the people who are trying to, the guy who won the election fair and square. I mean, the primaries, he had 13 million voters. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris, as far as I know. And yet they just shamelessly dumped him over the side of the boat without asking a single voter. I mean, this is the most undemocratic thing I have ever seen in my whole life.
It is amazing. It really is. And again, no scrutiny from the media. Just now it's all, who's she going to pick for vice president? Wait, what about, how is it that she gets to pick? It's insane. And
well, by the way, I don't think she is going to pick. I think the Democratic machine that picked her is the same machine that's going to, these people are shameless. They really are. They will do anything to win. I really don't think Kamala's in charge of her own campaign. By the way, have you noticed there's all these statements by Kamala, the press people put out for the campaign. Oh, Kamala's changed her position on this. She's changed. I haven't heard her say that directly. Have you?
I haven't heard her say much other than those cute little, oh, Beyonce, oh, baby, my friend, all this girl talk. It's stupid. All right. So look, final, as we got to let you go, but two things. Yeah. What do we do as if you're retired or you're, especially if you're retired or about to retire, what should you be doing right now? Sitting tight, I guess, right?
I'm not a great stock picker, so let me say that. Although I did buy NVIDIA at the beginning of last year, and I made a lot of money on that. But look, My advice to people is do not panic. Don't sell in the down market. That's the mistake a lot of people make. And I don't know if the market's going to continue to fall. It may, but it's going to bounce back, especially if, Trump is elected. We're going to see the bull market like you've never seen. So my advice to people, and you can take this, it's probably worth about a quarter, but my advice is don't sell in the down market.
All right. Well, we love it. Thank you very much, Stephen Moore. We'll need you in the White House.
Next Saturday, we're going to have a great show. We'll be talking all about this, 1 to 3 p.m., the More Money Show, and my buddy John Catsimatidis is giving me 2 hours on Saturday afternoon. And we're live, by the way. We're like one of the only shows on the weekend where you're not listening to this boring infomercial. So anyway,
WABC is jam-packed with live content.
Unbelievable.
Live content on the radio, including More Money. Great name for a show, by the way. Stephen Moore, More Money. I get it. Thank you, Steve.
See ya. Anytime.
You bet. Take it easy.